We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute, I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring them in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. TGOD, baby, know that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We doing honest, we going insane. Pouring this. Yeah, homies got me pouring this. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot, and most times I be scoring. Do this for my city, I bring on the trophy. Feel like Freddie Mercury, we the champions. Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke down hella trees, yelling timber. Stand in the line, they put me in the center. It blow their mind when they see how I'm winning. Went back and doubled up, now you in trouble. My all hustle, my diamonds are huddled up. TGOD got this off the muscle. Ask me about my life, man, I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now it ain't no more struggle. My team win the game, put our face on the cover, brother. We the champions.
Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us.
Tonight, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Fielded right around the 8. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
In the course of the game, we focus on the offense and the defense. We give lip service to the special teams. It's way bigger than that. The third phase of any football team, and special teams provided the spark to begin this game.
The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins. Play fake, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And some room to work. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 37 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
And they'll get this down to the 10. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They'll run with Cook. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Cook. Powering his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown. I tell you, you get the ball down near the goal line, you can be pretty sure that Dalvin Cook is going to get the carry, and he powers his way into the end zone.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that really runs downhill, and what I mean by that, hits a line with such speed and power that tacklers just bounce off of it. In a sense, it feels like the field is tilted, and he's running downhill at the defenders and gaining extra force.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From the 10. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His third NFL team, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders are hoping to provide stability for each other starting in 2022. It's the third team in 3 years for Wentz and the fourth starter in 4 years for Washington. The big thing with Wentz has always been staying on the field. And last season in Indianapolis, he played a full 17 games, leading the Colts to a 9-8 record and almost into the playoffs.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
Zadarius Smith switched teams, but never left the NFC North, going from Green Bay to Minnesota in the offseason. Had a back injury in 2021, but 26 sacks in 2 seasons as a Packer prior to that.
Wentz's throw taken in by Samuel. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. A good pickup there of 20 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 37 yards. And the Commanders respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fielded right around the 8. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. They go play action. Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Adam Thielen, a terrific wide receiver and synonymous with Minnesota football. You go back to high school, college ball in the state, and now his 9th season with the Minnesota Vikings. 10 touchdown catches last season, makes a nice catch there.
Cousins on first down. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, 31 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Nothing much more rewarding than that for a guy catching it.
Not at all. And with what we just saw there, that type of a one-handed catch, what's next? Maybe they go up and almost Velcro it with their jersey in the ball. That's about all that's left. That play, simply spectacular.
So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Not much more impressive than that. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
On first down, Wentz winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Steps away to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball.
As quarterbacks like to do, he pushed it downfield on that throw. But I think that since he was outside the pocket and there was open space, it would have been a good time for his first carry of the game.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And some room to maneuver. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 71 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Play action now. Cousins. Flushed out right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
Jonathan Allen had a very nice season for Washington in 2021 with 9 sacks and his first career Pro Bowl nod. He continues to be a valuable centerpiece for that defensive line.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins on the move to his left. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. 4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. Joseph's got it, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
Escaping the pressure right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Jahan Dotson, 31 yards. And the Commanders are back within a score. And that touchdown drive happened very, very quickly. You knew that they had the quick strike ability. They showed it.
And for a defense that understands that, it still drives.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
And he'll get in for the 2 points. So that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. And a little quarterback draw option works to perfection for him.
Yeah, it's hard to account for the quarterback in most situations on defense, and that's why the quarterback draw is so successful. Everyone else covered, makes a little fake, runs into the end zone.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's in his zone. Second quarter already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's the 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Finding room at midfield.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On second down, Cook. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Cousins now. Setting up the screen for Cook. They find some open field here. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's how you run the screen right there. The defenders get out of play.
Defenders, we're chasing the quarterback. Great disguise, great fake. Got the screen out there, turned into a large gain.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, no surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Touchdown! Dalvin Cook. He scored on the ground and through the air. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run it, let your linemen surge and fire out.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Washington offense going back to work. But right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
A 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up.